If you're watching the Northern Colorado housing market and relying on sites like Zillow to tell you what's really happening, there's something important you need to understand right away. The most meaningful forces shaping this market never show up on Zillow at all. And if you're making a buying or selling decision based only on what you see there, you're missing the part of the story that actually determines leverage, risk, and opportunity. I'm Mark Powell with Osborne Home Group and eXp Realty, and today I want to pull back the curtain on the unseen Northern Colorado housing market, the forces working behind the scenes that never make it into automated estimates, national headlines, or simplified market dashboards. Before we dive in, I just want to say thank you for being here. I know there's no shortage of market opinions out there, and I appreciate you choosing a deeper, more honest breakdown of what's actually happening locally. Let's start with the biggest misconception Zillow creates. Zillow shows outcomes, not causes. It shows you close prices after the fact. It shows you averages without context. It shows you estimates that lag real buyer and seller behavior by weeks, sometimes months. What it doesn't show you is why certain homes sell immediately while others stall, why some buyers win with average offers while others lose repeatedly, or why two homes on the same street can have completely different results. Those answers live in the spaces Zillow doesn't track. One of the first hidden forces is seller motivation. Zillow doesn't tell you whether a seller is testing the market, downsizing, relocating for work, navigating a school timeline, or quietly worried about missing the next market cycle. But motivation is one of the strongest predictors of negotiation flexibility. For buyers, this matters more than list price. A motivated seller behaves very differently than a confident one, and understanding that difference can save you tens of thousands of dollars or months of frustration. For sellers, this matters just as much. Buyers today are cautious and highly informed. If motivation and pricing don't align, the market responds quickly, usually with silence. Another major force Zillow can't capture is buyer psychology. Many buyers feel overwhelmed by information. They're exposed to constant advice, calculators, opinions, and warnings, which often leads to hesitation or second guessing. Zillow feeds that loop by showing endless what-if numbers without explaining trade-offs. At the same time, many buyers are far more risk-aware than they used to be. They're not chasing trends or hype. They're looking for stability, downside protection, and long-term confidence. What both groups need and what Zillow doesn't provide is interpretation. Another invisible force is micro-market behavior. Northern Colorado is not one market. Fort Collins behaves differently than Windsor. Windsor differs from Timnath. Erie, Johnstown, Berthoud, and Loveland all have their own pricing pressure, buyer pools, and absorption patterns. Zillow averages these together. That's dangerous because averages hide risk. A home that looks fairly priced on Zillow may actually be overpriced for its specific buyer pool. Another home that looks aggressive might quietly be the best value in its micro market. Those distinctions only show up when you understand who is buying, why they're buying, and what alternatives they're comparing. Then there's offer structure, another major force Zillow ignores completely. Zillow doesn't tell you why one offer wins over another when prices are similar. It doesn't explain the impact of timing, contingencies, inspection strategy, financing clarity, or how confident a seller feels accepting an offer. In today's market, winning isn't always about paying more, it's about reducing uncertainty for the other side. For buyers, this means you don't need to be reckless, but you do need to be intentional. For sellers, this means not all offers are equal, even when the numbers look close. Another hidden factor is inventory quality, not just inventory quantity. Zillow shows how many homes are for sale. It doesn't tell you how many of those homes are realistically desirable to today's buyers. Right now, a growing share of inventory consists of homes that miss the market earlier due to pricing, condition, or positioning. Meanwhile, well-priced, well-presented homes are still moving quietly and efficiently. For buyers, this means patience plus discernment beats urgency. For sellers, it means you're not competing against the entire market. You're competing against the best alternatives. Let's talk briefly about time horizon, because this is where decisions often go wrong. Many buyers make long-term decisions using short-term fear. Others make short-term decisions using long-term assumptions. Zillow doesn't correct for that mismatch. Some people are planning in 2 to 5 year windows. Others are planning for 7, 10, or 15 years of stability. Those are very different strategies, and Zillow treats them the same. A smart real estate decision isn't about timing the market perfectly. It's about aligning the market with your time horizon. And finally, the biggest unseen force of all, behavior before the headlines change. By the time Zillow shows appreciation, competition has already returned. By the time Zillow reflects seller leverage, buyers are already reacting. The people who do well long term are rarely reacting to dashboards, they're responding to early signals. That's what this video is really about. Not predicting the future, not hyping the market, but understanding what Zillow can't show you. If this kind of breakdown is helpful, make sure you like and subscribe. I put these videos together to help buyers and sellers make decisions based on clarity instead of noise. And I'm curious, what part of the market feels most confusing right now? Pricing, timing, competition, or just knowing who to trust? Drop that in the comments. I read everyone. The Northern Colorado market isn't broken. It's just more complex than a Zestimate can explain. And when you understand the forces beneath the surface, decisions get calmer, smarter, and far more confident. Thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.